The Phantom. In the early 1960s, Mrs. Church and her husband were stationed in Asia. Being in the military, they worked their schedules to spend quality time together. During their vacation time, they decided to spend time in India. While they were in New Delhi, they stayed at the old Imperial Hotel. This location would be the setting of her extraordinary experience. One night, while in a sound sleep, she awoke hearing a voice in the dark. The voice that whispered in the room was of her brother's. Her brother at the time lived in Goshen, New York, where he managed an air charter service. When she opened her eyes, she saw him standing a few feet away near a coffee table. There was barely enough light for her to see who he was and that he wore his pilot's uniform. While she lay in bed, she looked him over. She could see his face was blank and lacked any features. To make sure that she wasn't dreaming, she pinched herself, touched her husband, and took in her surroundings. While she did all this, she stared at her brother, not frightened, but somewhat shaken. With the shock of the situation rendering her speechless, they looked at each other and he slowly dissolved to vapor, starting from his head until all she saw was his feet dissipating. During the next several weeks, she waited for word of his well-being. At that time, communication was slower, and so it was an uneasy time for her. When news finally came in, she was relieved. When she returned to the States a year after, she revealed her story to her brother. After hearing her tale, he also recalled an event he had experienced. During a terrible flight the year before, he thought he would surely die. His twin-engine plane had failed and started plunging to the ground, but fortunately for him, one of the engines started and he was able to fly back safely. Even though both accounts had occurred the year before, they were never able to synchronize them exactly, but the timing of the events were still close enough for coincidence. Twins are said to have extrasensory perception and can sense each other when miles apart, but maybe the love between siblings or having the same blood provides a similar bond. Thank you for listening to today's story. Please don't forget to share, subscribe, and hit the like button. For notifications of new videos, you can hit the bell icon on the top right corner or subscribe on Twitter or Instagram. If you would like to contribute your own encounter or story, please contact me at the email below. Thank you, and keep an open mind, for there are things out there that are yet to be understood.